Hello and good morning to all my lovely students out there. I welcome you all for today's English class. Students, in our previous class we have covered up the topic of pronouns, right? And under pronouns we have seen what are subject pronouns and what are object pronouns. So let us recall back the topic for a short while before starting our class. Pronouns are what? Pronouns are words that are used in place of a noun to remove its repetition or monotony. And I have told you about two pronouns. The first form is subject pronoun, where subject pronouns is the doer of the action in a sentence. For example, I, we, he, she, they, right? And what are object pronouns? Object pronouns are pronouns that receives the action in a sentence. For example, me, us, him, her, they, them, right? So all these are object pronouns. In today's class we will move further and we will be doing what are reflexive pronouns and what are possessive pronouns. So let us get started, students. So students, as I have told you, we will be taking up the topic of reflexive pronouns and possessive pronouns in our class today. So let us start what are reflexive pronouns. Before understanding what are reflexive pronouns, I am going to give you an example. How many of you see yourself in the mirror? All of us, right? We look at our face early in the morning after brushing our teeth. We just go to the mirror, see how we are looking, we get up, right? So when you look at the mirror, what does the mirror reflects? It reflects back your own face, right? You can see your own appearance in the mirror. So reflexive pronoun is also somewhat similar to that. It is from the word reflection, right? That means the subject is the doer of the action and also the receiver of the action. One more example, students. Supposingly, I have a ball with me and what I do is I just bounce the ball on the ground. What will happen to the ball? The ball will come back to me. It will reflect back to me, right? It will bounce and then come back to me. So reflexive pronouns are what? They are pronouns that reflexes back to the subject in a sentence. Okay. So look at the definition given there on the screen. Reflexive pronouns are pronouns which are used when we refer to the subject of the sentence again. In reflexive pronoun, the subject is the doer and also the receiver of the action. So the subject of the sentence is the doer and also the receiver, both the doer and the receiver of the action. And it is very simple. It is formed by adding self for singular pronoun, self, self, whereas for plural pronoun called as selves, selves, selves. So we add self for singular pronoun and selves for plural pronoun. So let me give you some example which will help you to understand reflexive pronoun further. The first example given on your screen is Ramesh gifted himself a sweater. So there you can see it on the screen. Ramesh is the subject in the sentence. Gifted is the verb or the action. Gifted whom? Gifted himself. So here the subject is the doer and also the receiver of the action. Right? Ramesh gifted himself a sweater. So what did Ramesh gifted himself? A sweater. So he is gifting. He is doing an action which is reflecting back to him. Similarly, look at another sentence given there. They locked themselves in the room. So since it is a plural form they, it's more than one, so there you can see themselves, not themselves. Okay, so here they, that means more than one people are involved there, right? So they are doing what? They are doing an action. They have locked whom? So this log, the activity, the action is reflecting back to the subject, right? So they locked themselves in the room. So the subject is the doer and also the receiver of the action. Let us see the last example. Mary did the work all by herself. Mary here is only one. She's a female, right? So here Mary did the work. Some action has been performed all by herself. So she has done an action and the action is reflecting back to the subject. So in simple terms, a reflexive pronoun is a pronoun which reflects back to the subject in a sentence. It is the receiver and also the doer of the action in a sentence. I hope you have understood, students. Now let us come back to the second form, the next form which I have said that we will be doing. It's called as possessive pronouns. Now what are possessive? Possessive means possession. That means something belongingness or belongingness. Okay, it means belongingness. So let us see on the screen. You can look on the screen and check what are possessive pronouns. Possessive pronouns are pronouns that tells us that something belongs to someone. Now these pronouns are what? They are pronouns that tells us that there may be something which belongs to someone. They show belongingness. They show belongingness and they answer the question, whose is it? So simply, what are possessive pronouns? They are pronouns which shows belongingness in a sentence, okay, and it answers the question, whose is it? So please look at the examples given there. Some of the examples of possessive pronouns are mine, ours, yours, his, hers, theirs, etc. Okay, so simply by adding s in most of the pronouns. Let us see the first example. I have a pen, it is mine. So you can see the pronoun I and there is something, an object is there. I have a what? I have a pen and it is mine. So if I ask the question whose pen it is, it gives me the answer that it is mine. So the word mine belongs to possessive pronoun. Let us see the next example. The pretty parcel is yours. So there's a parcel over there. It's a pretty nice parcel. If I ask the question whose is it, the possessive pronoun will give me the answer, that is yours, right? So here in this sentence the possessive pronoun is yours. Similarly, look at the third sentence in the screen. This class is ours. So there's a class. Now which is the possessive pronoun in that particular sentence? It is ours, which shows belongingness. So in simple terms, what are possessive pronouns? Possessive pronouns are pronouns that tells us that something belongs to someone. It shows belongingness. So examples I've given, mine, ours, theirs, his, hers. All these are example of possessive pronouns. So students, with this we come to the end of the topic pronouns, where we have seen what are pronouns. Pronouns are words that are used in place of a noun to remove its repetition, right? And we have seen its four forms. The first one, subject pronouns, where the pronoun is the doer of the action in a sentence. Object pronoun, where the pronoun is the receiver of an action in a sentence. And in today's class we have seen reflexive pronouns, where we have seen that the pronoun, the subject, is the doer and the receiver of the action in a sentence, which can be formed by simply adding for singular self and for plural selves, right? And we have also seen what are possessive pronouns, which shows that something belongs to someone, that is belongingness. So with that, we come to the end of our topic for today. So keep learning, students. Stay fit and healthy. I shall see you all in my next class. Till then, take care. Bye bye.